Kalimera, how we say in Athens. It's bad to be the first speaker in the early morning, and I decided against having a presentation with a lot of statistics and so on. So I will just talk a little bit. And I think Professor Javier later on will have a lot of research. So yeah, just to start. Yeah, ITB, you know ITB, hopefully. We try to give wings to sustainable responsibility. As you introduced me already, I'm the commissioner for CSR, and I'm responsible for anything related to being responsible and sustainable. And you asked me to talk about how can destinations develop towards a more sustainable tourism with greater benefits to the local communities, while at the same time, of course, staying competitive. So in a way, it's how to walk the path of sustainability. I feel a little bad because you're all experts here, and I'm sure that most of the things I'm going to say you will already know. So, but please forgive me if I'm just repeating what you already know. So to walk the path to sustainable and responsible tourism, we really need, first of all, governmental vision. We saw that yesterday also when the Vice Mayor of Athens was talking, which includes long-term planning and investment. And this has to be adaptable to change as well. We need destination management instead of destination marketing as we used to have earlier. And we need to unify all local players. So that means establishing a DMO and drafting a management plan based on the destination's realistic status quo, not on some nice picture. And it means analyzing the strengths and opportunities, the challenges and the weaknesses before starting to promote a destination. There are many similar destinations with short-term development orientation that cope with the same problems: a lack of destination identity at the end, ineffective market positioning, and uncoordinated market presentation. And that's not what we want. So we also need private-public partnerships and cross-sector cooperation, including NGOs, very important, academia and research, of course. And management and daily operations need to be based on various quality planning concepts and tools. We've been talking about that yesterday as well. We all work with the GSTC tools. I'm a board member of the GSTC, and I really advise you to look into those tools. They're great. So, and we don't need tolerance. There's no tolerance if it comes really to be on a sustainable tourism path. Not, okay, that doesn't matter, so the supply chain, oh no, that's wrong. I didn't finish yet. So, yeah. So, and now I'm coming to one of the most important points, actually. That's the community involvement. Community-driven, locally rooted initiatives, regulations to legally protect the rights of communities. That's what we need. And we need to integrate the local civil society in the process from the very beginning. So local communities need to be involved to co-design the, to enable policymakers to prepare a policy that really meets stakeholders' needs and addresses their concerns. They need to take actively part in tourism development decisions to ensure that their needs are incorporated. So well-managed community-based tourism is a strong market-based product which can indeed empower the local society, and it can create, what we also heard yesterday very often, better lives. It can preserve their culture and also offer travelers unique experiences. So what we need to do, what you need to do, is do not invest in short-lived trends. They might be nice for a certain time, but it's better to identify really a destination's own values and build on them. And tourists, we know that increasingly demand this authenticity, and a stronger place attachment is important to create rememberable experiences, and that at the same time increases sales. So to stay competitive in the long term, destinations need to stick to authentic products and also authentic tour guides, you know, the whole supply chain. And at the end, it is all about what we also heard, and it's the credo I'm always talking about, create better places to live. Sustainable, resilient places functioning on a macro, but also on a micro level. And then you will have content citizens that can welcome tourists and both will enjoy a well-managed place. So destinations respecting their citizens and communities preserve ecosystems and cultural assets. They invest in clean water and infrastructure as well as in education, thus support livelihoods according with the SDGs, you know. And small local entrepreneurs are supported to grow their business. Local employees receive fair wages. That's also part of the game. And progressiveness for the whole destination may thrive if all that is happening. And to do so, leakage must be prevented, you know, not the big chains only. And the money spent by the tourists must stay, ideally, in the destination. So, yeah, but there's something also to take care of. It's stop cultural erosion, value and strengthen local culture without commercializing totally the life of the communities, because this might happen as well. So talking about competitiveness, tourism competitiveness generally presents the competence of a tourist destination to heighten its attractiveness for locals and travelers through delivering high quality, innovative, value-added products. So cooperating with the local communities has competitive advantages. The strong sense of the local community is a vital part of a destination's competitive advantage. Local businesses are owned by people who live in the community, they know the life, they are less likely to leave early, they invest in the community's future, and have a better understanding even of the local products. So cooperating with the local communities fosters entrepreneurship and new business ventures as well. Yeah, and you know, also what we need to do on the path to sustainability is to tackle over-tourism. You know the risks, all of us know, you know, because people in the destination really suffer from over-tourism. It seems like it's mainly a distribution problem. We all know already destinations should set up programs to attract visitors throughout the year rather than at peak seasons, promote visits to remoter or smaller places rather than to hotspots, and measure the positive impact. Okay, there is not one solution, there are many solutions, and you all know better than I do. Well, talking about climate change, people have become aware by now that with climate change, the planet itself is at risk. And yeah, because of the wars, peace is at risk again. So consumer demand is changing accordingly, and travelers are increasingly asking for green and also for safer products. In any case, a rising number of destinations is seriously challenged and threatened by climate change. And unfortunately, it will continue and it will get worse. So every place on Earth will be affected. So we urgently need to strengthen local supply chains and create community resilience. Also, again, on a micro level, but also on a macro level. There are some resilience centers already where all the destinations can be part of. There are also small initiatives really engaging the communities. And I think that is important to create resilience, because if you wait until a disaster is happening, it will be too late. So get engaged in the international, global, but also in very small micro level initiatives if it comes to flooding or whatever happens in your destination, that you can react immediately. Renewable energy, of course, is key. If we talk about climate change, we need intelligent mobility, but we need investment, research, and of course, green financing to really open the way to transition to renewable energy. Otherwise, it won't happen. And if energy policies focus only on security concerns, as they do now, they're likely to undermine the sustainability agenda. We need transition to clean, renewable energy systems, no short-term quick fix solutions. We have to prioritize investments to develop really sustainable products and to invest in renovation rather than building everything new, cradle to cradle recycling. I'm sure you've all heard about it. Try it whenever it's possible. And commit also to a carbon reduction plan for every industry sector, and all CO2 emissions in a way need to get a price. So to walk the path to sustainable tourism destinations should be proactive rather than waiting for, well, the new customer demand and then we will change it. Millennials are coming, going. So destinations must get ready for new economic and social ways of travel, also digital nomads, staycations, or for meaningful and or even more remote travel options. You have heard about micro-destinations and so on, which always include local communities. Travel will stop being about seeing places, but will increasingly become seeing people. So one more thing important also for destinations is always a holistic approach, not neglecting the social aspects of tourism if we talk about environmental protection. A successful and also socially sustainable destination management also requires the implementation of principles of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in all business activities and structures as a basic requirement for all human relations policies, staffing, and work. So a progressive HR management might even help to bring employees back to the tourism industry because people are normally underpaid, and especially women are not going over the glass ceiling. So social aspects really matter also in tourism. The complex of problems related to refugees and movements like Black Lives Matter have recently also influenced tourism. There is now the Black Travel Alliance, trying to get people of color into tourism, into advertising, being part of it. Sustainable tourism is a strong advocate towards a better society, and tourism can be a tool, a door opener, I always say that, and not only reach environmental, conservational, but also social targets. It's a door opener. So how can we become resilient? Well, without rethinking also the way we do politics. I'm just asking, because I read a lot about it lately, would a so-called feminist foreign policy approach, which doesn't mean, you all know that it doesn't mean that it's just a feminist thing, might that be a solution? Because this movement, this approach is fundamentally pacifist, which is important. We need peace. Our industry needs peace. It promotes a regenerative approach to nature, what we also do, and it seeks to achieve overall equality by dismantling structural inequalities and asymmetries of power. And these asymmetries are often rooted in gender inequality or other intersecting forms of inequality, like race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, disability, class, and so on and so on. So yeah, please give it a thought. Thank you. That was my presentation. Thank you.